On this week's episode of the Walker Den podcast, Walker and I are joined by Atlanta Legends punter Cameron Nizialek to talk about his transition to the AAF and playing on college football's biggest stage. We have a great edition of Mail Time this week.
Everyone it's loaded.
People came correct.
Like a baked potato on Super Bowl Sunday.
That is a very great way to describe it. So we're going to get into all of your questions, plus a little bit of sports. The All-Star game was this weekend, NBA All-Star weekend. It was good. Not great, but good. It was a win for the NBA, and Walker went back to school. A little too old, though.
It's all right.
Roll music. This is the Walker Den podcast coming to you live and in living audio on your computer, television maybe, phone. You can listen to podcasts on any platform.
Kindle.
So at that
Your
point,
honing pigeon.
There's a Raven, maybe.
Ooh,
a Raven.
Raven, did you start watching Game of Thrones?
I did start watching Game of Thrones. Yeah.
What episode are you on?
What was the promise that I made you? I was going to be done with season 1
by almost
by
the end of next week, which I guess. Yeah. How are we looking?
Oh, I'm on like season 2, episode 7.
Oh, bet.
But yeah.
Bet. I mean, okay, so you're liking it.
I breezed through it. I'm telling you, I'm really good at binge watching. So I kind of breezed through it super quick.
So you enjoying it so far?
I mean, so far, it's a lot of blood.
Yeah.
Which I don't really mind that much. A lot of nudity.
Yeah. That definitely, enjoy the nudity while it lasts. It definitely kind of tapers off.
Oh, thank God.
But like
some of the times I'm just like, what is this? Like, I feel like I'm watching porn.
Some of the episodes in season 1 and I guess 2 are just a little...
It was just nudity for the sake of nudity.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the hell is this? Because I like the story, but I don't want to see all this stuff.
Yeah, probably after season 3, it starts to mellow out a little, and mellow out by Game of Thrones standards is still like...
I figured that. But I mean, I'm first introduced to Peter Dinklage, or Tyrion Lannister, excuse me, by him getting a blowjob. I'm like, what the hell? What did I get myself into?
I'm impressed you remembered the character's name, because when I binged watched it as well through like the first. I think I caught up through season 5, and you watched so many episodes so quick. It's like, that guy, and then this guy, and this girl. Like I couldn't remember what a character name was for a while.
They're names that I remember, like his in particular. I remember
because he's the GOAT.
Yeah. I know Jon Snow because I kind of came into it with a little bit of perception of kind of the storyline and sort of the twists and the turns. So I know who Jon Snow is. He hasn't done a whole lot yet. He killed one White Walker with fire. That's really all he's done. He's like, last time I saw him, he was stranded in the snow with like little sandwalkers from Star Wars. They just kind of popped up everywhere.
Oh, so where is he right now? You're midway through season 2.
Yeah.
So he
had just captured the redhead girl.
So he's been in the Night's Watch.
Yeah, he's been in the Night's Watch. So obviously I know who he is. I know Brand because I think Brand's a funny name, and I don't know Sophie Turner's character or Jean Grey.
Sansa.
I still just call her Jean Grey.
That's
she's from X-Men. But I mean, I like it so far. It's been pretty good.
Sweet. I'll get the whole rundown from you and see who you liking so far. Who do you not like? Who do you think's well positioned? We'll get into that.
Yeah, I mean, people are going to die.
It's going to change. It's going to change.
It's going to change drastically. Yeah. So I started watching that. That's basically. I was kind of sick a little bit this weekend. It's like cold and flu season. I didn't really get like the cold or the flu, but
just enough to.
I was just not feeling 100%. Yeah, I was like, I'm just gonna kind of breeze through this. And once I got a hold of it, I was like, I can handle this, and we're good to go. So at some point in the next 2 episodes of the podcast, I'll probably be done with it.
That I have been your friend for a long time. I've never been more proud to be your friend than right now.
Thanks. I think I'm a really good binge watcher. That's
I'm just good at it. It's not like I'm just okay at it.
It's kind of one of my things. So started doing that. I'm starting to kind of plan out how we're going to do the Marvel thing with you.
I got a lot of movies to watch.
Yeah, we're only going to pick a certain few.
Yeah, I'll let you curate the list for me.
But the problem is one of them comes out in March that you like. It's going to be kind of important.
Is that the Captain Marvel one?
Yeah, which is going to be dope. That one's kind of important.
She looks like a badass.
She does. She's going to be the most powerful character that we've seen, which is awesome. So we're going to have to do that.
You have to give Thanos a 40 spot.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm starting to plan that out a little bit, and we'll I had the pizza, so eventually we'll have a free pizza.
That's what I'm saying. We got the. So yesterday, I going through my emails on the Walk with Denton email. I see your Domino's reward points have been confirmed. I'm like, what? I didn't order a pizza, and so I texted you real quick. I'm like, yo, man, you ordering pizza with the email? Completely like fine with it. I just thought it was funny, and you hit me back with a great text. You're like, yeah, man, I was just hungry and. I'm just trying to get those reward points. So next time you're hanging out at my house and you have nothing to do, we can eat some za together.
Well, the great thing about the reward points is you can just take a picture of any pizza.
That's what I'm saying. That's like the new thing that they rolled out, right?
We have pizza every weekend because my dad makes it. So that's all these points. So you have to wait 48 hours.
So you just take a picture of any pie and you get reward points for it?
Yeah, I think it because we're at the point in day and technology can actually decipher this. You can't just take a picture of like a frozen pizza in a store. I think it can tell if it's real or not. But
so can I just draw a pizza?
I will try that and get
just
back to you.
Just a big circle with like 3 pepperonis.
Some pepperonis, and I will try that and get back to you.
Make sure you use crayons. Makes it look
and if
real.
it does, we'll get through our pizza points a lot quicker.
We're going to have so much free pizza.
I'll just have it on an alarm every 48 hours just to go back and do it again. That's a loophole, Domino's. We're on to y'all ass. So we have a great edition of Mail Time. Everyone came super correct. I do have one thing to kind of share. Yeah, you're not going to get to play with the dog in the picture. If that was the reason you asked a question, I apologize.
Yeah,
but I was basically pimping someone else's dog, and that dog lives, I think, like 500 miles away.
Hey, Kenny.
So that's gonna be hard to work with there. But all right, let's get into some of the questions. Some of them are really good. Some of them are gonna have a lot of interesting stories. I actually had to ask permission for one of the stories that's gonna be told.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So we'll just run down this list in order as we have it in here. So speaking of Kenny and his dog, he wants to know who would win in a race, myself or Denton. And I'm going to answer this one first. Me, first off. But I would like to say something to acknowledge your athletic abilities. When we were in high school, I always thought, I was like, damn, Denton is like, he's surprisingly fast, but I'm pretty sure I would wax your ass. I guarantee I would.
It depends the length of the race. If it's 100 meters, give me a break. If it's like 400 though, I run out of stamina. But if it's 100 meters, give me a break.
Oh, we might have to get something going. Then.
We will once it gets warm, and if we can get our hands on a track, we will have something.
You always did kind of have that low key speed, the real quiet speed.
I always tell people I'm fast for a white guy, so. That's my claim to fame. And someone once told me
a lot of really fast white dudes, though.
Someone told me that at track meet once.
Oh, okay.
After I won a race.
Well, this
dude came up. He's like, "Man, you're pretty fast for a white guy."
All right. Well, that's
I will take that.
Then. That's certified.
Yeah, Kenny's not involved in that though. He was a technicality away from being a D1 sprinter, so he doesn't get involved in any of that race stuff.
We're both faster than him though.
I'm faster than Kenny if I'm riding a bike and he's on foot. Yeah, I'll take that. But if we're both on foot or if we're both on a bike. He was a technicality away from being a D1 athlete. He has just weird athleticism that sometimes doesn't even make sense, but he's freaky athletic.
He's a goofy one. All right, moving into Connor. This was one that I had to think about, and I don't know if I've formulated like a super good one, but Connor wants to know, what's the most dangerous thing you did as a kid that you look back at now and think like, oh, shit, that was really stupid?
Wrestling 100%. I literally almost broke Connor's neck like 20 feet that way. We were getting ready to go somewhere, and I'm like, yo, Connor, let me just DDT you real quick. And this is before, like,
let me just choke slam you.
Now I kind of understand the ins and the outs of how wrestling works. This is in my infancy of being a professional wrestling fan. I dropped him right on the crown of his head. And I got up, and I was like, oh, my God. And he got up, he's like, oh, that didn't feel good. I literally thought I killed him. And I was like, oh, Lord have mercy. We used to wrestle on trampolines all the time. That wasn't really that bad because a choke slam is pretty easy to do on a trampoline, really not that difficult. Yeah. But a DDT is something that you should never try at home. And that, as soon as he put that in there, I'm like, oh, yeah, that was it. Because I remember it was on a beanbag. That was my support.
At least he had something to fall on.
Yeah, thank God. He would have died.
Yeah, I would think the most dangerous thing you did as a kid, we had, I don't know if we were friends yet. We had the big, like the little, or like the Fisher Price, like the plastic jungle gym structure in our basement, like with the slide. We definitely weren't, but we
became friends at 13. So yeah, we still had that.
Well, no, we had it for a while, like after both Peyton and I had like really outgrown it, but we still had it for a while. And then I would have friends come over. We would probably like try to play tag in that. when we probably weren't supposed to fit in there anymore.
Which
that
could
be
great
kind of
idea.
dangerous. Also, what was really dangerous, and we're going to talk about him, so I'll bring his name up now, was living with Chris Cote for 2 years and wrestling as like 18-year-olds in a dorm room, like while standing on chairs. I guess, I was still a kid then. That was pretty stupid. We had a couple kids almost get concussions. Like Pete definitely got a concussion one night. It was also our senior year, so we were kind of grown up at that point.
You're like 21.
We're just stupid. But I don't have. Unfortunately, Peyton and I never WWE'd her at all.
That is for sure for her benefit.
Probably.
She would have dropped her on her neck or something.
Yeah, probably. You're
or
welcome.
She would have dropped you.
Yeah, no, that's probably how it would have gone.
The switch will flip and she'll get ferocious.
Yeah, no, it's scary. So James, so I didn't know if this was tailored specifically to you.
This was tailored specifically to me. So he asked about sports betting, and on the scene you think, oh, like sports betting in college. Well, one day, so our senior year, we were on leadership on our hall, and so one day it was like a Wednesday. Every single Wednesday, there's a certain set of responsibilities and events that we have to attend. Well, myself, James, and another buddy of ours, Randy, decided, yeah, we're going to get to that event when we get to that event. We're hungry. We're going to go eat. So we went to eat, and we kind of just this was kind of probably within the first 2 months of maybe 2.5 months of our senior year. Mm-hmm. But, it's that time where people like really they just kind of start cuffing. It's cuffing season. So we were sitting there.
Ring by spring head ass.
Yeah, I got a certificate of participation instead, which was the form of a degree in that. But we were sitting there, and we just started making like friendly little wagers on people's relationships and how long they were going to last. So like
random people that walk by or people you knew,
like people that we knew. Right. So like we can tell like, yo, they ain't it. Like this is not going to last. Someone's going to do something stupid in this relationship. So we just started making bets for like meal swipes. There was one bet that we made. I can't say exactly what it was. I didn't have permission to say that, but that actually involved like legit money, and we all put in $5. So the winner got $15. I won that bet.
There we go.
So I can't say what it was.
It's going to fuel the pizza.
Yeah, exactly. I think I got sheets that night, actually.
Hey.
But yeah, so that's what that was. We were just making friendly little wagers on people's relationships, and every single one of them broke up except for one.
Who won on the one that didn't break up?
We didn't make an actual wager on that one. That's James's relationship. So he had
insider information.
He had inside knowledge.
He's cheating. All right. So
no, there was no cheating. There's no cheating.
Well, facts. Good clarification. So this is probably one of my favorite. This might be my favorite question from the mail time. This one's got me fired up. Emma asks, "What's our basically the detail? What's the detail of your PB&J?" So I'm gonna let you lead it off first because
I only eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches 2 ways. Either on toast, because I like all of my sandwiches at this point in my life have to be on toast. I just don't like regular bread. Or when I was younger, coming back from a hot summer day, a day at the pool, a lot of activity, and you just come back and you have peanut butter and jelly, like little sliders on Ritz crackers.
On the Ritz? That's fire.
It's the only way I would ever eat Ritz crackers. So those are the only 2 ways I eat peanut butter and jelly. I don't think I've had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in like 10 years.
Really?
Yeah, it's
you got to get on the PB&J grind.
I do peanut butter banana now.
Peanut butter banana.
I graduated.
That slaps. So the ultimate PB&J recipe, as prescribed by me, who I would argue is the best PB&J maker in the world. There's some people out there that can agree with that. So my go-to PB&J is the bread kind of makes or breaks your sandwich, right?
Right.
You can't have some like nasty ass white bread. Like it's got to be something hearty, something tasty. Also, like the bigger the slice of bread, the better, because that means more sandwich,
more surface area.
So then I go. I'm a big creamy peanut butter fan. So I hit them with a layer of creamy peanut butter, probably more than you would like normally put on. But a decent amount of peanut butter. But then you got to go a little more jelly than you do peanut butter in my eyes. And I'm a huge strawberry jelly fan, preferably strawberry jam. So it's a little thicker. It's got like strawberry pieces in there.
Never knew that you were a big strawberry jam guy.
Yeah, big strawberry, and it's enough jelly to where when you kind of eat into it, it's like oozing out and stuff.
Like a jelly donut.
Exactly. And then if you have like a giant glass of chocolate milk or like just regular milk to wash it down, that's usually pretty fuego. And also the goat combination is you do that, and then on the side, like there's a little snack, you either have like barbecue chips or you have like the little pretzel bites, like the hot buffalo wing ones,
because pretzels.
The little spicy and the spicy and salty combo with the nice sweet of the PB&J is pretty fire.
Yeah, maybe.
I've also been on the peanut butter, banana, and honey grind recently too.
Yeah, I'm telling you, peanut butter banana sandwiches. Like, if you're not into that,
kind of smacks.
I don't know what's wrong with you. It's like the perfect sandwich.
It smacks.
It does make your mouth a little dry, so you need the milk.
You need the milk to wash it down.
Milk, but you need the milk. But
right. Moving into the next one, keeping in the food family. Kayla wants to know what the GOAT breakfast food is.
This one, I actually did a whole lot of thinking.
This is tough.
Because I think I'm a big breakfast sandwich guy, so I do a whole lot of breakfast sandwiches, and I think the best type of breakfast sandwich is something with turkey sausage.
Ooh.
But then everything that I like breakfast wise always has eggs. I've had eggs probably in a 365-day calendar year. I think I probably eat eggs about 350 days.
Would you do the other 15 ones?
Probably pancakes or French toast if I had to guess. But then, like I said, French toast is my favorite.
Breakfast. I like that.
I never skip breakfast. Oh no, never skip breakfast. So I'm down with French toast, but I think the GOAT would have to be eggs because I eat it so often.
So just any, because they're so versatile. Because you're saying,
yeah,
so
I
eggs
eat it
in
with
any
everything.
form. So I would say, I think out of all the times that you can eat, I'd say breakfast food in general brings the most heat. It's the most versatile. You can have the sweet. You can have the salty. You can have
so many things.
You can do anything with it. My personal favorite, though, has got to be a giant stack of chocolate chip pancakes.
I like that. Are you a big syrup guy on the chocolate chip pancakes?
Yeah, like smothered, like drowning in syrup, drowning in butter.
Yeah, I mean, chocolate chip pancakes are so good.
They're so good. They're also a close second, though, is like a Southwestern potato and egg kind of scramble, like the fried potatoes with some eggs and.
Are you a hash guy? Do you do hash?
Yeah, I mean it's like potatoes. I prefer home fries, I think, over the hash browns, but
well, no, I'm talking like a corned beef hash.
No, I mean, I would eat it, but I don't actively seek it out.
I found it once on a cruise, and my life has never been the same. It's
probably
really,
a Waffle
really
House.
Good.
I need to go back. I haven't been to Waffle House.
I don't know if they have a corned beef hash. I was actually going to piggyback off the question, what's the best breakfast spot?
It might be Waffle House.
Because, I mean, I love Waffle House. It's completely disgusting. And
no, everyone, it's not. It's beautiful.
Everyone in there, you're like, damn, should I really be eating here? And then you eat it and that was a good move. But I love IHOP, too, because they do the omelets.
IHOP's cool, but
IHOP service
it's also way more socially acceptable to just be belligerently drunk at Waffle House than it is at IHOP.
I don't do the belligerently
and it's really fun to eat
so.
Breakfast food when you're a little drunk. So,
but not, not Denny's though.
I don't think I've ever eaten at Denny's.
Yeah, we don't do Denny's. No, Denny's is whack.
What about Bob Evans?
We don't do Denny's. I do like Bob Evans a little bit. There was one right on 50.
There still is.
Oh, I thought it closed. Well, there's one right on 50. It's Waffle House and IHOP for me though.
Yeah, we need a Waffle House closer to us.
Yeah, we do. I think the close one's like an hour and a half away.
Yeah, it's not close.
Yeah,
the closest
one's that and Sonic are way too far. Sonic's coming close.
Sonic's coming in, yeah. So moving to the next one, Chris Hildreth, I'm not going to lie to you. I have no idea what this question is about, but I did my best to do some research. So the question is, would you rather be Sean Paul's, I think it was 6th chameleon in 5 months, maybe 5 and 6, or Tom Cruise's on-set stool guy with quotes around stool? So I don't know if that's in reference to like a bowel movement with the whole stool thing. I don't know, but I did some research. Nothing popped up on Twitter when I typed in Sean Paul chameleon. And nothing really popped up on the internet with the whole Tom Cruise thing. But basing my opinion off those two assumptions, I think I would pick the chameleon, unless that means that the 4 other ahead of me have died in 2 months. Maybe he's just collecting a whole gang of chameleons.
Maybe in that case, a great turnover rate.
And in that case, you got 5 homies to go chill with. So if the other 5 are alive, I'm gonna pick to be a chameleon instead of doing whatever the hell a stool guy is.
Hot take, I really like the movie Jack Reacher, and that's my answer to this question, because I don't know what it means. But the movie Jack Reacher, that was okay. Haven't seen the second one, though. Maybe I should. It's been out for 2 years, 3 years.
Scientology.
Yeah, don't do that. I don't really mess with that.
Maybe the stool guy is also a Scientologist. And then keeping it in the that's the whole Arlington squad got involved. The whole 4-3-3-4 boys.
Oh, is he also a 4-3-3?
Yeah.
I haven't got the roster of them, so I don't really know.
Yeah, so he's whose room I took at JMU when I moved in.
Oh, damn! You snatched his living space.
I mean, he graduated. Wasn't going to be there forever. Although I kind of wish he was. Like we all were. Anyways,
we're getting real sentimental.
Jake wanted to know if I would ever rage at an EDM concert, and yes, Jake, I have. So that's the answer.
I don't know if I've ever been to like a legit EDM concert. I have rage at EDM music though.
It's fun.
Yeah,
recommend it. So yeah, Jake, and you should too. We can go together. Chris Cote, another former roommate, as we mentioned earlier, wants to know what happened to the Wolfpack Wednesday pictures.
First of all, if you've been paying attention, they still pop up every now and then.
Every now and again.
And if for those of you that don't know what the Wolfpack Wednesday is, it is probably the greatest trend to ever live on Instagram. Kind of. I looking back at it, I kind of like. Wow.
Some of them are pretty stupid.
Some of them pretty stupid. Some of them were like. Some of them were way ahead of our time.
We took our time on a handful of them.
We put out some great pictures. The simple question is, we ran out of ideas.
Yeah. Like we did it for like a year and a half straight. Yeah, every Wednesday.
I think it was 72 weeks was the official number that we kept having a picture every single week of you, myself, and Kenny, and we just ran out of ideas.
We did. We ran out. So if you guys want to take a trip down memory lane, hop on Instagram, search the hashtag Wolfpack Wednesday. You got to scroll through a little bit. That's Wolfpack with just the PAC.
Go on Facebook. Facebook has all
Facebook has all of them. Plus on Instagram, there's some like weird other ones that aren't.
Yeah, there's one dude that was just really trying to come in and cop the swag. But also, yours are the only ones that are still up on Instagram because Kenny and I both cleaned out our Instagram.
Yeah, you guys are.
But go on Facebook. Trust me, they're great. If you have any ideas, we will gladly take them. We just ran out.
Yeah. And the final question from Mr. Manov.
Mr. Marv.
Mr. Marv. Why isn't Ben Simmons shooting any threes in the All-Star game? And the simple answer to that is if you've been on NBA Twitter in the past, 3 months, it's because Ben Simmons is a coward. Not really, but that's...
No, when it comes to shooting, he's a coward. Like, if there's one spot to shoot threes,
you got to just chuck trays in the All-Star game, right?
I don't know what the official number is. I think it was 160-something threes were attempted in the All-Star game. Ben Simmons is legitimately the only person that didn't attempt one. So, like, Jokic, Embiid, Cat, all these big guys are shooting threes, and Ben Simmons, who is a guard, still a big guy, but a guard, in the one game that no one is playing any defense, you don't have to make them. I think Russell Westbrook went like 3 of 18 from
Giannis
three.
Hit a couple.
And Giannis doesn't shoot. Like, he sucks at shooting. You have to take them there. Like, that's the one time, just chuck it up. The internet's going to love it. It'll give people a reason to watch the All-Star game because a lot of people didn't really like the All-Star game. It's a joke. He needs to start shooting more.
Yeah, next time Philly's in a blowout game, either a win or a loss, Brett Brown just needs to keep him in and just say, hey,
shoot.
Just shoot the ball.
Shoot. Like, you're not coming out until you take 5 threes. Just shoot them. Get comfortable.
He also shoots like his shooting hand is his guide hand and his guide hand is his shooting hand.
When I first started watching him at LSU, I didn't know if he was right or left-handed because I couldn't tell which hand he was shooting with for jump shots.
I mean, part of it makes sense. Like, you're that like, he's never not been able to get to the rim if he's wanted to. And, like, honestly, he still kind of does now. But it's just weird that after 21 years of playing basketball, he doesn't have the most, like, the most iconic piece of the game, right, is a jump shot.
Got to shoot. You want to win in the playoffs? Got to shoot threes. It's that simple.
And now we're going to get into our conversation with Cameron. All right, Cameron, thanks again for joining us. Welcome to the Walk with Denton studio. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, man. Glad you could join us. Coming after the Week 2 game, you guys are out in San Diego, so appreciate you getting back quickly for us cross country.
Yeah, we flew back right after the game, so it was a long trip.
Oh, I'm sure. So, for those of you guys that don't know, we got our buddy Cameron Nizialek in the studio. Currently the starting punter for the Atlanta Legends with the AAF, the Alliance of American Football Association. For those of you guys that don't know, the new football league that's popping off and doing really well through 2 weeks. Former punter at University of Georgia when they went to the national championship game 2 years ago and SEC champions. And a Columbia Lion as well. So let's get on into it. Cameron, appreciate you going on. And I guess the first big thing is, so what is the AAF like as a player being in the thick of things?
Yeah, it's not as high profile as like the SEC that I was in last year. It's definitely not the NFL, but the paychecks are real and the level of football is pretty good. So it's been fun, kind of starting this new chapter and starting this new league. it's been a lot of fun so far.
And America has kind of received the league really, really well. The ratings you guys have done on the national level have been great the first 2 weeks. What does that do for your guys' confidence and knowing that, America is liking what you guys are doing and the product that you're putting out?
Yeah, I think, one of the important things about this league is the founders talked about putting a high level of football out there. And, while it's not necessarily the NFL, it's you're getting a high level of guy that's putting a good product on the field. So, it's good. It gives us confidence, and hopefully it gives the NFL confidence to pick us up after the season.
And you mentioned the guys that kind of helped put this league together. You have Bill Polian, who's a great football mind, a lot of great former players involved with this as well. What is the level of communication that you have with those guys and getting this whole league started?
So we had training camp in San Antonio, and all 8 teams were together, or not necessarily together, but practicing in the same town. So there was a lot of transparency there. Bill Polian, Hines Ward, Troy Polamalu, guys like that were always around practice, and you had one of those guys there every day. Now that we've gotten back to Atlanta, it's been a little less seeing those guys, but Hines Ward, a Georgia guy, I talked to him quite a bit while we were out there in San Antonio. So it's been kind of cool to pick these guys' brains and kind of trying to figure out how to get to the next step.
Awesome, yeah. And so you bring up something I wanted to touch on, which I think is really cool with how the AAF has set up. So you playing in Georgia last year, and now we're with the Atlanta team. And I know that the AAF has had a focus on trying to match up some former players located in the area where they played in college to get on the team. So I know you got a couple of former Dogs on there as well. What's that like being able to play with guys from Georgia, but also being able to play in Atlanta still?
Yeah, that's one thing that I thought the league did a really good job of is trying to put local talent on teams to kind of help build the fan base. We got Aaron Murray as one of our quarterbacks, who's a legend down here. So that kind of helps bring fans out. It's great to play with guys, that were in the same program as me. But, it's been a lot of fun to get to play with guys, and not just Georgia guys, but, Clemson is one of our schools that are allocated towards us. So it's good you get players from all over that aren't allocated to kind of mix together and create a, pretty solid team.
And what is kind of the day-to-day operation like practice, and how is that all run with the team and where you guys are located at?
Yeah, so every team, I'm assuming, is a little different. Right now, we're running out of a high school, Milton High School, which is they're 7A state champions here in Georgia. Really great facilities. So we're the league actually puts us up. We're staying in a hotel in Alpharetta, right outside Atlanta, and we're practicing at the high school field, and we have all of our meetings and everything through the hotel.
Awesome. Great. And so you touched on this about, coming from the SEC, obviously, and being at such a high-profile program like Georgia. You touched on this at the beginning. What from a, publicity standpoint and from a, being the big man on campus, how are things kind of shifted with the AFF, or maybe what has surprised you about that change, both good or bad?
Yeah, I mean, one thing that's kind of cool about this league is the bonus system. So kind of the more well-known I am and the more you interact with fans, whether it's social media or games, and that kind of helps you get paid more. So, which is kind of a unique thing about this league. Exactly. So, I guess being well-known down here hopefully will help put more money in my pocket. So that's kind of a unique feature of this league that I think is pretty cool.
And we know a little bit about your story. Obviously, you started playing at Freedom High School, and we got to be honest. We got love for Freedom, but it's not exactly a place that is filled with college scouts. And you go from your senior year in about a 4 to 5 year period, and you're on the biggest stage in college football, playing for the national championship. What was that process like of leaving Freedom and eventually making your way all the way to Georgia, competing for the national title?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think you guys can probably attest. I really wasn't that good out of high school. I wasn't that big of a name. I didn't have the kind of offers that, most kids coming out of high school have. I went to Columbia, and really I was planning on going to work on Wall Street. That's why I went to Columbia. But I kind of developed late. I didn't start playing football until my junior year. So I kind of developed late and really pushed myself and kind of was able to, push myself to the next level to get to Georgia and now into this league. But, it's just been kind of a process where if you believe in yourself and you work hard for it. Things happen, and it's definitely I've come a long way from freedom football to playing in the national championship. So it's been quite the ride.
Yeah, no, awesome. And I remember talking to you during our junior and really senior year of college, and when you were looking at continuing to play and going to grad school to play one more year, and you were looking at a handful of schools, and I know you had a bunch of workouts. I guess what was the driving factor for you to go down to Athens for your year at grad school?
Yeah, so kind of my whole senior year at Columbia, I pretty much thought I was going to go to Clemson. I wasn't technically allowed to talk to schools until I got my release from Columbia. But, through my kicking coach down in Charlotte, I thought I was going to Clemson the whole season. And then I flew down after Thanksgiving. I went to a Georgia game on the same day as a Clemson game. And really just the way the Georgia staff and the campus treated me, it just kind of felt like an immediate home. And Clemson was kind of cold and awkward. So really it worked out well. So I ended up going to Georgia, and obviously the rest is history.
Yeah, awesome. And I can attest. I'm glad you made that Georgia decision. It led to some good weekends down there. So
absolutely, it was awesome when you were able to come down.
Yeah, I was gonna say so my college football viewing fan experience up to that point had been going to dozens of Penn State games with my dad, and that's obviously a special, unique environment up in Happy Valley, but. Definitely down in Athens between the hedges, it was definitely a sight to see, just to see a red, and kind of like you said, the hospitality that you saw from the staff and just the warmness of campus and the students was definitely unique. And I thought the coolest thing, and I know you appreciate this, is the pregame tailgating scene wasn't as much tailgates per se, but the bars in downtown Athens, everyone's there watching football games. Dudes are dressed up in full pads and uniforms. That was one of the craziest things I had ever seen. So it's a rabid fan base down there.
Yeah, if anyone listening has never been to Athens, Georgia, I would definitely recommend it, especially during college game days. It's really an unbelievable town. There's like 100 bars within a square mile, so it's a pretty cool atmosphere.
Do you have a favorite story from Coach Smart? I know he's one of the great coaches in college football. Do you have a story that sticks out?
I guess one of my favorite moments was my first yell from Coach Smart at me. We were at an indoor practice. It's raining outside, and we're not really supposed to punt in the indoor because it's kind of high. It's not high enough really to punt in. So our ops guy told me, "Hey, don't punt." And our special teams coach was like, "Yeah, punt it away." So I was like, "Hell yeah!" I'll just let it rip. I blasted it off the roof, and Coach Smart yelled at me for about a good 5 minutes while the rest of the practice is going on, and stuff that I can't probably say on air. But he's a really passionate coach, and I loved playing for him. So yeah.
Yeah, I remember when you had first told me that. I got a good kick. Got a good kick out of that. No pun intended. So talking about being at the biggest stage, I want to walk through kind of your last few games at Georgia. Obviously, the huge overtime win in the Rose Bowl, and I know that you guys retired your plane after that game, and walk us through that and just kind of the scale of playing at the Rose Bowl and then playing in the national championship and just all the things that kind of go on behind the scenes that make it really fun that everyone else might not get to see.
Yeah, so I guess starting with the Rose Bowl, it's kind of cool. We flew out a week before the game, so right after Christmas, and we got to spend the whole week in LA going. They shut down Disneyland for us and stuff like that, which is it's cool that. People might not know or get to experience. So that was really awesome. And just, the Rose Bowl itself is probably the most historic bowl game out there. You grow up seeing the Rose Parade and all of that. And it was really a remarkable game. And it was also one of my best games of the season, which really helped. I really had some clutch plays in that game that helped us win. And it was pretty remarkable.
One of your former teammates, Sony Michel, just became a national or Super Bowl champion. Scoring the game's only touchdown. Did you text or call him after the game? If so, what'd you say?
I texted him before the game, just kind of wishing him good luck, and he was probably getting too bombarded after the game. But Sony was a great special teams player. He was on my punt team last year at Georgia, so it's pretty remarkable to go from a selfless guy playing on the punt team to winning the Rose Bowl on his play, and now Super Bowl champion. Probably could have been the MVP of the Super Bowl.
Probably should. He was my vote for MVP.
Absolutely. He had an awesome game, awesome season for them.
No, definitely. I'm sure it's great to see one of your buddies doing well at the next level. So you had mentioned this right at the beginning. So week 3 coming up this Saturday for the AAF. Yep. It's your guys' first home game. You guys are playing Birmingham. What are you looking to do? Get back home in front of the fans. I guess from the first time that they've gotten to see you standpoint, but also what are you guys hoping to do on the field?
Yeah, we've kind of come across 2 rough games to start off. We lost the first week in Orlando and then this week in San Diego. And unfortunately, we've had maybe the worst weather I've ever seen. 2 rain games to start the season. So it hasn't been great for our offense. We've been a little sloppy. So we're hoping to get in front of our home fans, kind of where we're more comfortable and be able to put some more points on the board. I think that's kind of been the biggest struggle for us right now. But, I'm playing well, which is all I can really ask for. I'm leading the league right now in punting, so hopefully that'll help. And I think for everybody, their goal is to get to the NFL, and that's kind of what we're looking for.
Yeah, no, definitely. And this touches on something that you had mentioned to me, I guess kind of in the off season before you, I guess once you knew you were going to play, but before all the training camps and everything had started.
Yeah.
Just talking about the relationship that Bill Polian and everyone at the AAF was hoping to continue to build with the NFL. So I guess from what you have seen kind of on the inside, what is that relationship really starting to look like and take shape in, and what do you hope that it can be as a player kind of coming up in the next few months or years?
Yeah, so the nice thing about this league is they really are pushing guys to get to the NFL. They want it to be a but a supplementary league where it gets guys to the NFL, and I think that helps. Not only does it help the players, but it helps the league itself kind of, reaffirm that it's a quality league if you're pushing guys to the next level. So you've already seen, guys like the quarterback for the Redskins that finished the season. He was the first pick at this draft in the AAF. And, you had a couple guys already from this league go to the NFL. So, that ties with Bill Polian and all the, great NFL guys that are attached to this league. I think it's only going to help the success and help push guys to that level.
Yeah. Now, do you guys have? I've been reading some things and seeing some things that in a future state, they're looking to almost affiliate an AAF team with a handful of NFL teams. So kind of like that developmental farm system. Has there been any more development in that, or is there any teams that you guys down in Atlanta may or may not necessarily be pegged to?
So kind of in the allocation process that we kind of talked about earlier. So not only is it by school. So like the Georgia, the Clemson, they are all tied to the Atlanta team. But also, if you didn't play for one of those schools and you played for, let's say, the Falcons or the Jaguars, then you're allotted to the Atlanta team. So I don't know how it's going to go the opposite way. So, like, if we play in this team, I'm hoping that you're able to go to any team because that just kind of helps your chances. But there are rumors that the NFL has become an investor in this league, which would be huge. And would kind of solidify it as a minor league type system, which I think would be great for the league.
Yeah, that would be great because I know back in 2007 is when the NFL ended their whole NFL Europe kind of developmental farm system that I think was just a huge cash suck for the league. So having that homegrown talent and guys that as you mentioned were right there at the highest levels of college and even playing a little bit in the NFL, I think really starts to build that talent base of guys that can legitimately make it to the next step. So it's easy.
Absolutely.
It's much easier to recruit in Atlanta rather than in London.
Exactly, and you see a lot of these guys too that have played in the NFL already. I think they said something like 85% or something has played or been under NFL contracts. So they know who you are, and now the biggest problem with the NFL is in the off season is guys don't get reps. There's only 53 guys on a team, and it's hard to get better without actually playing. So I think this league gives it a nice opportunity, guys, to get game reps, game film, and kind of show teams what you can do in a real game.
Yeah, definitely. And so with all those NFL talents that Aaron Murray's on your team, and you guys, Denard Robinson's in the league, and Trent Richardson's in the
shoelace.
How has your pregame rituals has that changed at all? Being that there is such a mixture of guys that have played in the league, or are you still able to kind of stick to the rituals you had in Georgia? Or how have things changed?
Yeah, no, that really hasn't affected anything. Pretty much, guys just do their own thing, and I pretty much have the same routine before these type of games as I did in college. So, that hasn't really changed. But it is cool to play with guys like Denard Robinson, who's on the cover of the last NCAA football game and stuff like that. So
exactly.
That's kind of cool to play with guys like that.
Do you have like a go-to warm-up or pump-up song that really gets you amped up before a game?
No, not really. I like to listen to like a lot of EDM type stuff pregame. That kind of, because I'm not a big I like to stay fairly loose, and I'm not one of those guys who kind of gets really like amped up. But I like to get pumped up, but kind of keep it mellow at the same time.
So just see you fist pumping all around the locker room. Is that what
yeah, exactly. You see me dancing on the field too before the game.
Exactly. Now, see, as soon as you brought up music, that does remind me of a certain YouTube video that I'm probably not supposed to talk about.
Yeah.
Which
that was never to be mentioned again.
I happened to stumble across it the other day, so maybe I'll text it to you again or something.
I told you to delete that once we did that high school project.
Yeah, I probably should go back and delete it, but maybe there'll be a point where it's a good little cameo for the two of us. So.
It's a good blackmail for me anytime you need it.
Well, Cam, thanks for jumping on. We appreciate you joining us, and we're looking forward to watching you play, and hopefully you'll get a call sometime soon to put on an NFL jersey.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. Thanks so much.
Yeah, Cam, thank you.
NBA All-Star Weekend in the books. Hamidou Diallo, the winner of the dunk contest. Joe Harris beats out hometown kid Steph Curry. I was rooting for Steph Curry so hard, but also Joe Harris has a nice beard.
He does.
So
shout out Brooklyn Nets one time.
2 times? Just 1 time?
Like once, and then like Brooklyn maybe a second time.
Okay. Well, I guess we can we can rock with that. But I mean I would say it was a good weekend for the NBA. The Currys dominated like everyone anticipated them to do. They were basically at every single event that they could have been at. Steph Curry is literally perfect when he shoots. Like, it is just art.
It's very pretty.
Seth Curry, on the other hand, not as much. Like, it just didn't look the same. Del Curry said he wanted Seth to win. I don't know, man. I was looking at the percentages, and Seth Curry's only made 66 threes this year. His percentage is really high, but he's only made 66.
I think Steph shot 66 after week 1.
I think Steph shot 66 in the 3-point contest itself, I think, with a little bit of the warm-up in there.
Yeah.
He's made 230 something. The only person in the NBA that's even legitimately close to him is Paul George, who still trails by like 33s.
Yeah.
It's absolutely ridiculous, but I mean, what are your overall thoughts of the weekend? Were you able to watch any of it, all of it?
Yeah, so I watched all of Sunday, and I saw highlights of Saturday. I was out of town, but I was super excited about obviously all the basketball stuff on Sunday, but all the non-basketball stuff on Sunday was literally directed for me, I think. Meek Mill doing the intro and then J. Cole doing the halftime show. I was in heaven. So
I'm so glad they didn't do the Kevin Hart intro like they did last year. Oh, that was so terrible. I love Kevin Hart. But remember his intro?
Did he just make jokes about everyone?
He started to make jokes about everyone, and like halfway through, they're just like, okay, what are we doing here? Like, the players weren't laughing. They're like, what the hell is he doing? He was making jokes about Damian Lillard, and Damian's just looking at him like sideways, like, dude, are you kidding me right now?
It was funny, like the year before that, maybe 2 years before that. I guess it was when Kobe was still in the league. They did, like, Drake did all the intros, and that got to a point where it was just kind of like Russ clearly did not mess with Drake at all, and like kind of stared him down when he walked. But like, it was the only one that didn't go over and dap him up. So yeah, I was cool with the intros this year.
Yeah, they got Michael Buffer, and Michael Buffer's so great. Yeah. So that was a good move by the NBA. Did you like the game?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Dirk was out there just wetting threes for the 2.5 minutes that he was in. So I was a big fan of that. That was always good to see. I also may or may not have shed a couple tears about the whole D-Wade lobs to LeBron. Then I saw one picture yesterday where it was the iconic backwards lob to LeBron when they're in Miami against the Bucks, and then obviously the same angle picture from the All-Star game this year, and the caption was like, young Wade didn't look back because he knew there would be many more, and old Wade looked back one last time to remember it. And I was just scrolling through memes, didn't realize I needed a pack of tissues.
It was like, damn, that hit hard.
Just chopping the onions.
Right in the heart.
Yeah, but no, it was great. I I think the big visual from the weekend was that Steph bounced lob to Giannis.
That was nuts.
That was pretty filthy.
That was nuts.
I also thought it was kind of funny. I saw a tweet because we love to fuel this Warrior kind of internal drama that may or may not actually be going on. It was a tweet of Kevin Durant winning the MVP in like a show that was completely dominated by like people only care about Steph Curry. Like a single Steph Curry play is a microcosm of his career in Golden State, which is true. Which is true.
He's certainly not wrong. That play though to Giannis was nuts.
Oh, it was freaky.
And they showed like 80 replays.
He also, like he was in the air for so long.
He was just up there. It's like, is he ever going to come down? And then there's talk, because remember, Giannis did actually do the dunk contest one year, and it didn't work. I saw the highlights of it because I was watching that dunk contest just to get set and ready for this year's.
He looked like a baby deer.
He didn't have the hair was different. Like,
he was like 110 pounds.
You can tell a lot about a player's mentality based on their haircut.
Yeah.
And he didn't have kind of the hair that he has now, and it looks a lot better now. It just fits what he is as a player.
Right.
And I saw him in that dunk contest, and I'm like, yeah, that's not the same guy. It's just not the same dude.
That was also right in the middle of the stretch where the dunk contest was really, really awful.
It was
we had a couple really bad years in between. So we had like the Nate Robinson and Dwight Howard like little saga that was awesome.
Right.
And then you had a couple years where it was just kind of really pitiful. And then in 2015 you had the Zach LaVine versus Aaron Gordon.
No, so that was 2015 was the one that Giannis was in. That was Zach LaVine literally just blowing everyone out of the water. And then 16 was LaVine and Gordon, which is one of the greatest things ever. Yeah. 17, guess who won 17?
It was so 17 wasn't Donovan Mitchell because that was last year.
No.
It was was it Alec Burks?
No.
It was before that.
It was like Glenn Rice.
Oh, yeah.
I looked that up and I was like,
Glenn Rice.
He did the dunk contest? I was like, what the hell? Yeah, I mean, there was like a little Twitter thing of like Giannis thinking
the really bad stretches when JaVale McGee was in it and like dunked on 2 different rims.
And still lost. He still lost because Blake Griffin jumped over Kia, and Kia was the guard in the NBA. JaVale McGee double dunked, and he dunked on like a 12-foot rim. I hate Blake Griffin. That was stupid. They did the year where they changed the rules up too, where it was East versus West, and John Wall like kind of won, but the East won. That year was terrible.
I also love my man J. Cole almost throwing one down in the dunk contest. Plus, no stretching, having on sweatpants and the sweatshirt.
That was a heavy sweatshirt.
Shoes untied, probably.
Like that
was mad impressive.
That sweatshirt carried a little bit of weight there. That had to be at least 2 to 3 pounds of sweatshirt.
He's also probably just weighing a whole lot more than he did in the 2011 Celebrity Game when he threw down a Kevin Hart lob because he's letting the dreads go now. So it's a lot of weight holding you down.
Extra weight, yeah. So Giannis teased being in the dunk contest, and then Donovan Mitchell's like, if you're in it, I'm in it.
And then he quickly backed out.
And I'm glad, because you know who I didn't want to see in the dunk contest again?
Giannis?
Donovan Mitchell. I'm good.
No, I meant Giannis quickly backed out.
Oh, damn it. Why?
Yeah, so Giannis tweeted, or Giannis tweeted, Donovan responded to him, or whichever order it started.
I think Donovan responded. Yeah,
Donovan responded. And then Giannis retweeted that, quoted it and said, "Nah, I'm gonna let you, Levine and
Zion, probably.
And Zion like battle it out."
I don't want to see Donovan Mitchell again. He won on Vince Carter's dunk. I hated that. I absolutely despised that. If you do that in the first round, fine, that's cool. I get paying homage. I hated the fact that he won on someone else's dunk that we saw almost 20 years ago, and Vince Carter did it better in the first place anyway. I didn't like that. My perfect dunk contest: Zach LaVine. Healthy, because he has knee issues. Zion, Ja Morant. If you don't know who Ja Morant is, you got to look at Ja Morant. Dude's an incredible dunker. He's probably going to go top 5, probably. So those 3 guys, and then maybe a healthy Aaron Gordon. The final spot could just be for anyone. Hamidou Diallo, I thought, had a really good showing this year. If Dennis Smith Jr. decides he wants to make his first dunk, we could put him back in there, but he missed his first. He missed about a majority of his second attempts. We can't have that again.
We should have Boban be in it, and he'll win the dunk contest for jumping the least. He'll do he'll try to get the least impressive dunks.
So that's my perfect competition. Get Zion and Ja Morant in there next year, and then some big star, and we'll be good. And yeah. So what's up with your Lakers? Because they're probably not, like we joked about this last week, and then I looked at their record and the schedule and who they have to kind of advance over. Y'all might actually miss the playoffs.
I would like to say all is good in paradise. Lonzo just came out with a new single featuring Born Ready.
So he's rapping instead of fixing his jump shot.
So,
nice.
No, they're going to be fine. Never lost. They're probably going to go on a 28-game win streak and make the playoffs. And my boy's going to be Rookie of the Year, even though it's his third year in the league, and they're going to be fine. Yeah, I mean, they might miss the playoffs, but it's cool. We're going to sign like 8 max guys this summer.
It's Lonzo's second year, not third year, I think. He was the Tatum class, wasn't he? It was Fultz.
I don't know.
Lonzo,
I feel like he's
Tatum.
been in the league forever.
It's because LeVar won't shut up. But how many wins do you think you need to make the playoffs in Western Conference?
52, 51. We've seen in the past that 48 hasn't.
Oh, y'all in trouble.
Got the job done, right? I mean, we've seen in the past that teams have gone above 500 and not made the playoffs in the West.
Y'all have 28 wins.
Dude.
With like 20-something games left in the year.
Right, but.
You have to have like a 700 win percentage.
Dude, we're going to be fine.
Y'all are in trouble.
Who's on the team? Who's that one guy on the team?
The guy that's probably still a little hurt.
Yeah, that guy.
Load management. Just tried to trade everyone on the team. Just tried to fire the coach and didn't work.
We're only 3 games out of 8th.
3 games or 4 games?
Well, 2 games if you're looking at the loss column, because I think that's how they do it.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's literally a games back section there on the thing.
No, but that's from first place. And we're not catching Golden State.
True. Yeah.
But I don't know.
Well,
maybe actually, now that I said it, this year the biggest post conferences, but especially the West for the first time in a while, is much more evenly dispersed from a standings standpoint. Because we've seen like 3 years ago, there was a year where I forget if it was Utah or Denver. There was a team like a Utah or like a Denver that went like 48-48. And missed the playoffs.
Yeah, I think Denver had 48 wins last year. Or they were 41 at 45 or something.
41. I'm thinking. I was thinking the midpoint of the season was 40. It's 41 games. That's what I meant to say. Around you're gonna have to be above 500 to make there. So maybe like a 46 or 47, like a 40, maybe a 43. Hopefully for the boys.
Bro, LeBron James can't do any load management games anymore. He can't rest for load management. That's done.
Hey, Michael Beasley just signed in China, so we don't have to worry about him beating up Luke Walton anymore. So. Team's going to be great.
I'm just going to say this right now. Luke Walton's not that bad of a head coach.
No, he's really not.
He had all those damn high. He had Lonzo Ball and Brandon Ingram and Kyle Kuzma playing real good defense last year. And now they don't play defense. I don't know what's up. When is your trust going to fall in LeBron if he can't get a star?
I mean, they need something this offseason.
Because,
they need something this offseason. But also, there's an open roster spot, so maybe they'll sign Melo.
That should knock it a little bit.
That was a joke. I'm going to cry when that's going. The thing is, it's going to happen, and I'm going to call you on the phone crying, and I want you to console me.
There's probably going to be no consoling at all.
You're a jerk, man.
You have won a lot of championships. Your team's won too many championships in your lifetime to get any sort of consolation. You don't deserve it. The Steelers have won 2. One of them was kind of a cheat, but whatever. And the Lakers won 5. That's 7. You don't need all that.
I mean, a couple of those Lakers ones, I watched, but I usually was a little small enough where I would fall asleep in third quarter.
Oh, shucks.
But they're still dubs.
I got one. And I got a Maryland National Championship. It was cool. But
was that the Grievous year?
No.
Who they win? Oh, they won with Steve Blake and
Juan Dixon. It was 2002.
Bro, that fight video of them at the summer camp is still one of the great. So my man Steve Blake got those hands ready so quick.
He's
also
one
of my favorite backup point guards for the Lakers.
He did. He played for the Lakers for a really long time. He was in the league. Steve Blake was in the league for a very long time.
Yeah, that was the time of the Lakers where they just had random players on their team,
and still made the playoffs a couple times.
Yeah,
Smush Parker.
My man Kobe ruined that man. Ended his career. Smush.
You're not a Kobe stan anymore, though. I don't even know what the word stan really means. I
don't
know where that word
came from. I'm a huge. Well, it came from "Stan" by Eminem, the song.
Oh, duh. What the hell? I'm losing it.
It's all right. But yeah, I mean, I still love Kobe. Is he the best player of all time? No. Is he the greatest Laker of all time? No.
Who's the greatest Laker of all time? Oh God.
Okay, I'm not going to go that far because he hasn't played a full season. So no,
in the one season he's about to play, might miss the playoffs.
I'll take that back. But yeah, no, I mean, he's not the greatest player of all time. Is he my favorite player of all time? He was for a time being, for a long time. He's still the GOAT. There's a lot of people that are the GOAT.
Yeah, the GOAT has lost so much.
Yeah. I mean, I referred to peanut butter jellies earlier as goats. So
like that phrase has lost a lot of oomph in it. But yeah,
we're gonna be fine. We'll make the playoffs. Everything's sunny
want to
in
bet
LA.
a tattoo on it? No.
I mean, Faison, if you want to get a tattoo with me if they miss the playoffs as well, if we just enter into a pact to just get tattoos, I mean, that's one thing.
God, this is all it took. I've been trying to get you a tattoo for years.
Yeah, no,
this is all it took.
I'm not signing up for that.
I would have told LeBron to go to the Lakers years ago.
I'm not signing up for that.
Yes, I mean that's really all the basketball. I'm dropping things here in the studio. That's all the basketball. Any other?
I am excited to see the Lakers play the Pelicans in New Orleans on Friday.
Is Anthony Davis going to play?
I don't know.
Probably not.
Probably not.
People wonder.
Then they fired Dell Demps. Like, so maybe they wanted Anthony Davis to get traded.
Of course. I mean, yeah, they definitely want him to get traded. Doesn't want to be there.
Why do you?
This is one of the reasons that the NFL doesn't have guaranteed contracts for stuff like this. Anthony Davis is getting paid whether he plays or not.
Yeah.
So it's
also because it's not a contract year for him, so he doesn't have to play an X amount of games.
Yeah, no, he's getting paid no matter what. Like Kawhi Leonard got paid all that money last year that he was owed.
Yeah, I did. Well, there was something that the NBA was like ready to fine there was some fine that they were ready to hand out the Pelicans if they held him out, which is like $100,000 a game or something. And I saw something like the math behind it. It was like 100%, like hold him out for the next whatever that would be, like 105 games this year, the rest of this season and next year. Pay the $2.6 million or whatever the numbers are worked out. Obviously, be more than that. Whatever the number works out to be, and then like make all of that back in a trade value and sell a first round pick to make up for it.
Right. Interesting times in the world of basketball. Some things are going to be changing soon, specifically where Anthony Davis is playing. So I mean, that's all we got. Closing thoughts?
I'm gonna go make a PB&J.
All right. Too sweet.
Something like that.
There we go. He finally got the too sweet. It finally happened. Walk out the too sweet. Look for that picture on the internet. I framed it right this time. I tried to get it last time, didn't frame it right. So the too sweet will be on the internet. That's it for us. We'll see you next week.